Welcome to ForexTV.com. Today is Monday, January 26th. I'm Kathleen Reddington with your New York Forex Market Buzz. The Japanese yen falls on the majors, and now for a look at the latest headlines from the CEP News Desk. The pace of sales for existing homes in the United States came in much better than the market expectations in December. U.S. existing home sales rose to an annualized pace of 4.74 million units in December, marking a 6.5% month-over-month rise following November's downwardly revised sales pace of 4.45 million units. The index of U.S. leading indicators rose above expectations in December, posting a 0.3% month-over-month gain. The consensus had forecast a 0.2% month-over-month decline. And following months of public protests, Iceland's ruling coalition resigned this morning, 3 months after the collapse of the country's currency, stock market, and several major banks. The government's commerce minister also resigned in response to the country's financial crisis. Senior government officials from the two parties that make up Iceland's coalition government had met on Sunday to discuss the government's future, but nothing was resolved. Today we are joined by Meg Browne of Browne Brothers Harriman. Hi Meg, how are you today?
Hi, good afternoon. Glad to be here.
All right, so we're seeing the yen come off some big highs from last week. I want to know what you think is moving the Japanese currency, and where do you see it going this week?
Okay, I think you have to look at it in the context of the broader markets. The yen is coming off, but at the same time, some of the other currencies that had weakened last week are stronger. So the same theme is going on with all of these currencies, and that is that the market is basically consolidating, taking back some of the gains or losses that we saw last week. This week is a market that will be focusing on such issues as the FOMC, but really the statement afterward, some limited data, including U.S. GDP, central bank meetings next week. But really what's driving the overall markets is what's going on, has been going on in the financial markets and the economies. And both of those point to a stronger dollar over time. So what we're seeing is a bit of consolidation after a dollar strength, and that consolidation is likely to continue this week.
Now you said some of the currencies that were weaker last week are a little bit stronger. We've seen the pound bouncing back a little bit after Barclays announced it had more capital than required. And I just want to know, do you think this is a good sign, or is this kind of just a temporary lull in the sterling downturn?
Well, this isn't the sterling's been coming off for quite a while. Certainly, Barclays is just one factor, but it's only one factor. In the big picture, this is a country that has where the economy is quite weak. There has been concerns, and one of the factors that drove sterling, weighed on sterling last week, was not just Barclays, but in the bigger picture, concern about the banking sector and concern about a possible nationalization of a bank. One of the other factors that happened over the weekend was that the officials really tried to push the benefits of their programs to try and alleviate the concerns in the market. And that had some impact that helped sterling firm, but in the very big picture, the real fundamentals haven't changed for sterling. I think that there's more room on the downside, just the way there is for the euro. So we look at this consolidated period today and this week as an opportunity to sell sterling.
All right, and the dollar came under pressure today after the existing home sales numbers showed a decline from last year. What's your dollar outlook for this week?
For the course of the week, we think that the dollar is going to be consolidating. It is another factor, by the way, is month end, so that can produce erratic moves, but not a trend move. So our longer-term view for the dollar is strength. This week we see things consolidating after the recent gains, and again, an opportunity to buy dollars.
And how does that play into your euro-dollar strategy? Because that's a pair that's been moving today.
The euro's tried this a few times to rally and to break higher, and it has repeatedly failed. Today it did the same thing. Again, we're looking for consolidation this week. But our longer-term view is that the euro will remain under pressure. The U.S. really taking more. We're concerned about the world and finances, but we think the steps the U.S. has taken are much more proactive than what's happened in Europe. So the impact is that ultimately the euro will weaken. We're looking at for it to return back below its birth rate, around say 115 in coming months.
All right, Meg, thanks so much for joining us today.
You're welcome.
This has been your New York Forex Market Buzz with Meg Browne of Browne Brothers Harriman. I'm Kathleen Reddington. Join us later this afternoon, 4 p.m. exchange, right here on ForexTV.com.